Okay, this is number 2 of a... I don't know how many parts I'm actually make this. So if you'd like to go see the first version of this, it's not necessary, but this is just how to actually edit the map. So, this is actually designing your station. This is the meat and potatoes of SS13 and all of Byond's maps. So, first, you most likely are going to set up your walls first, if you have the station and plan mapped out. So, you're going to go to turf, closed, and wall. This is a simple, this is just making a simple station just for simple purposes. So, these are different ways you actually can edit. You have your select tool. This is just for selecting specifically. You can copy and paste, but this is important. You cannot copy and paste between two different Byond DMM files unless you cut and paste. This is the only way you can actually copy and paste in this format. Next, you have the line tool. The line tool is actually my favorite because it allows you to set on a line first and just edit it. It's simple, basic, allows you to cover many areas. It's really just for those whenever you're setting out the layout for the buildings or just doing repetitive action. So, I'm going to make some walls. And in post, this will not connect if the server does have connections because the programming for actually connecting the walls actually hasn't loaded in yet because it's Byond. This is Byond's client. The walls connecting actually is an SS13 localized feature. Okay, now since we have the walls laid out, next we want to get floors. So we're going to open because it's locations where actually player can go through. Open. Now, currently right now this is space. Whenever you delete anything in this, when you delete the floor tiles, it'll lead direct to space. So we are going to want to go to criminy. Yeah, name of the file. It's been a while since I actually have done this. Oh yeah, floor. Now you're gonna actually choose plasteel because it's the regional floor tile plan, which it's not plasteel. Actually, it's just metal, but ignore that for now. This essentially is going to be your open floor plan, and just to prove that this is actually is what this actually is space. This is what happens when you delete anything. It just leaves open space, only including floors. Okay. Next, drawing. This is essentially like your MSpaint. Essentially, all you have to do is just ta-da. It's just the basics. It just is for whenever you want to get the actual finer details. This can be used just for placing on singular objects, but however, it's more or less for large scale items. Next, because I'm running out of time, let's include inserting items and objects. Okay, the file path is the exact same for the file path of this file path. Keep in mind, this is the map. These are the objects that you're actually going to have that have loaded in from this. So if you go down to objects, let me close this and this, which should be roughly in Yogg's code. One second. This is a search feature, essentially. It allows you to search. Okie dokie. Modules, way emissions. You gotta love the formats. There it goes. Objects. It should be underneath game modes. Alright, it should be underneath game, which is underneath code, which is underneath. Yeah, it's just code. Let me just simplify this. Okay, what I did essentially was I went from the object path over here, right here. Then I went to the file, then I went all the way down till I got down to objects, which went from code to game to objects. Turfs is where you get your walls, such as space, open, and stuff, and such. Objects is where you're going to have your fun things, such as your structures. anything that I mentioned right here, you can create add to this list, which is located here underneath objects. So you have areas and other things. So we're going to go to objects, or OBJ for short. We're going to go to structures. What should we make? I'll just make a vending machine. You can search here, but it's convoluted because you get circuit boards for the exact same thing. Window mat, good enough. You click the thing, or you click the thing right here. This actually is an interesting thing. It'll show multiple different variations of the same object, such as if we were to search pipe, for instance. Pipe's not a good example. Oh, airlock is a good example. Airlock, and say you want to just have. Oh, Yogg's actually. Alright, never mind. Sorry, scratch that. This can contain different variations of the same object, but Yogg's has really fleshed out their coding since I actually last explored it. AKA dividing up evenly, making sure everything. Because beforehand, this would just stick right here and be just convoluted. I'm going to probably cut this part of the video. Okay, next. I'm going to place down. I changed my mind. I'll place down an airlock and a vending machine. A window mat. Place in the corner. So say you want to add a camera to this wall. You can actually make this a lot easier on yourself because every time you want to place, say, a camera, I have to go through the entire list. Let's put some field cartridge. Say you want to put an object behind this. In order to do that, upon clicking, this inserts a buff. But for you, when you first do this, it's going to replace the object, which is no good if you're making a table and putting something on top of the table. So it's best to go to click behavior, which is underneath objects, right here. Scroll down to click insert or instance. This actually, you can still swap between the two of these. Essentially just swaps the function. So if you want to just say replace still, you would control click. But this just makes it to where when you click, you place on top. Control click will replace. Simple function, effective. Okay, cover those basics. Now area. Area is an essential thing, so we're just going to get golem ship because I like golems. Golem ship. Oh, let's go back around. Alright, golem free ship. This is an area. Area is located in the areas tab. Areas have different properties which are stipulated based off their code. Each property is different comparatively. So you can draw areas just like the basics of everything else. So areas are good is a good way to do this. Interesting thing about the golem ship, they have infinite power, so just well, I'm explaining this to you. Never mind. Okay. You can see the area like this. Whenever you load a big map like the main box station, the area is going to be everywhere. It's going to be hard to actually narrow down or just edit it with the area in the way without accidentally overstepping my words. Editing the area is a no-no whenever you're deleting stuff. So if you say you're deleting a whole area of a map, it kind of is hard to do without deleting the area. So it's always good, if you really want to go to this fancy little thing called layers. This controls what you're actually editing. If you click show only selectable areas, it actually makes it where you can see what you're doing. So say you can turn off turf, this removes all the floors and all the walls. Okay, turn off area, turns off the area. So whenever, and this also means that since you delete, because beforehand, if you were to delete, say this, deletes the area itself in. So now if you go into layers and delete areas from this, delete, and turn off the show only selectables, the area is still there. Simple and effective. Okay, now this is more convoluted. I'll get into more complicated later on. This is just the basics, the simple stuff of the matter. You can find everything through the list, and if you really want to, you can actually just search directly through files through the file themselves. I should have got this organized prior, because the objects themselves are objects themselves. So say you want to find something, you can search through items and just scroll through and find all the stuff you like. Okay, this has been the end of tutorial number 2.